Rooney! Come on, little girlie. Should we put you back in? Oh, little poopy. So exciting.
Maybe I've been slowly realising it, but I realise now I do really want to just document like these time capsules, these little pockets of my life, because maybe this is not necessarily a good thing, but well, I was about to say I wallow in nostalgia, so that's definitely not a good thing, but I really do enjoy being able to step back in moments in time where maybe necessarily when I was currently experiencing it, it didn't feel that great, but there was still these moments, I can't speak today, moments amongst the maddening chaos which I would long for, I would love to go back to, and it's a situation or an experience that I won't be able to feel again, and that's why I love taking so many photos, because there's all of these unforgotten small moments of happiness or being content or ritual that may be forever forgotten, buried deep within the grey matter, that just would never be remembered again if it wasn't for a photo or a video or an audio recording, a piece of writing, a drawing. And so I feel like I do love looking back at just a flavour of time. And so I think because I've been wanting to capture it so well and its ultimate brilliance, but I've been missing the point really, because I've put myself in beautiful places and situations, but inherently myself feels off, and so I can't capture the true essence of what I'm trying to preserve, which is just the beauty in life, which can be extremely simplistic. It doesn't have to be, wow, I'm in this beautiful landscape and for the time being, for a fleeting moment, I'm in awe of this, but then I come back to myself, and if I'm not fully content in that moment, then what's really the point of capturing it? Because it for me, when I look back, the resounding memory, I'll have a snapshot of this beautiful place, then the resounding memory will be the feeling of emptiness or offness or not quite content. And yeah, so that's completely missing the mark. And then in those small moments of joy to bring out, which is why I downsized my camera, because to bring out a whole apparatus to try and capture it, then it kind of loses the magic of it, I suppose, which is why I absolutely love camcorders, because there's a few elements to that. I don't have the anxiety of being like, hey, I'm trying to film you, and then just the moment's gone if I'm with people, because it's kind of more of a retro symbol, and I think maybe subconsciously it's rooted in a place in people's minds before the whole, I suppose, narcissistic selfie environment that we've all grown to know and loathe. Know and love, I mean, know and love. Choking on my own words. But now I've lost what I was saying. Right, I'm going to pause it here because I've forgotten what I'm saying. And I also have this paranoia now because the last few times I've used my camera, it just, I'll be like, and again it's the kind of expectant energy stronger because it got into a habit of not saving these videos, and then it would always be like I'd have the tiniest bit of memory left to make space to capture this one thing I really wanted to, and then the memory card would be fucked. And so obviously the one thing I wanted the most wouldn't actually be captured. I was like, you bastard. And yeah, so with a camcorder you can just pull it out, you can keep it in your pocket, and I have so many nice photos of memories where I used to have this, it was the first camera that my dad got me, like first proper camera. It was like this Olympus mirrorless when I was 12, and it was because he'd spoken to a photographer and was like, oh my daughter really loves photography, what would you suggest? And she said to get this mirrorless camera, way ahead of her time. And so it was so small, I used to just tuck it in my boot, and it would just be on the side of my boot, and I would tuck it in there and go off on all these adventures, and then anytime I wanted I could just pull it out my boot, click, put it back in the boot. It was just, and so I was able to capture lots of memories that I can look back on and be like, oh. Which is why I think, so there's a few levels to what I'm trying to say here. There's the aspect of I actually do want to document things and film things. I actually really do, but I think that gets lost in trying to make it perfect and appealing to other people that I don't even know or won't even look or consume it. And it's like, well, isn't it supposed to be for me to savour my memories and enjoyment? And then secondary to that, if I'm able to capture beautiful moments of joy, however simplistic they are, you know, I have moments here when I just look out the window and I see the colours of the walls and the painting and the colander, or when I've just done the washing up, or the water running out the tap, and to me in that moment it's so beautiful that I want to capture it. So, but the fact that I've had so much joy and beauty in that moment, maybe, you know, the repetitive nature of those kind of grounding rituals of basic simplistic living, that often you get so swallowed and consumed by the noise of life that you forget there's so much tiny beauty, tiny moments of beauty to be had. If I am experiencing pure joy from something so simple and I want to film it, and when it comes to editing it, it's like there's more, you know, it sparks that happiness again, and it makes you then committed to, because I thought, so I used to make videos of horses when I was younger, because I owned horses and I was completely in love with that, and then I kind of thought I had this realisation that, oh, maybe you'd never like making videos, maybe it was just you loved horses so much, and if you couldn't be with them, you would come home and you would just spend the rest of your time editing footage of them because you just wanted to be all consumed by horses. But I think that is true, but also it's the amount of joy that I got given. I could then enjoy it again. So it's not to say that I need to be around horses or be around like an insatiable passion to be able to capture it. It's just then the motivation will then continue if I'm really actually truly loving the moment I'm in, and I feel like I used a lot of words there to kind of be like, well, duh, but in my very complicated, chaotic, noisy mind, everything often gets muddled up, even though I inherently know it. It's suddenly then I can just spiral thinking I know what's best in that moment, and then it's actually not, because I've completely forgotten the foundations. And I don't even know where this came from. I was literally, all I wanted to do was just take a little 1 or 2 second clip of a small moment of beauty. It's like, I walked into the kitchen and my dad had left the gas card with £20 just to top up the gas, but I don't know, I just found it really cute, the fact that he just kind of left it there and it seemed like placed delicately. You know, I don't think, yeah, that's not necessarily been like an action that's been done before, but I love it when people, I suppose it's like a trace that someone's had a thought about you, and they don't have to be present. That's what I love, when people like leave me little handwritten notes. I have so many notes. People that probably don't even remember who I am over the years, of just like someone, either literally like drawing a smiley face on a thing and like leaving it for me, or like a note from houses I lived in for not even that long, years and years ago. Just a little kind of snippet that someone's had a thought about me when I haven't been there. I find that really kind of like, obviously less like, fuck you. Actually, I still have a couple of those as well, but no. But yeah, so that's what sparked me getting my camcorder out. And because it wasn't a whole palaver, I just managed to delete a couple of things that I'd already downloaded, and I suddenly have so much space because it doesn't eat like 10 gigabytes a second. I just managed to be able to just ramble on and kind of actually work some things out in my mind from just talking out loud. And that's also what I love as well, because I've had quite a few revelations, or momentary revelations, while just talking to a camera, because it's, so I feel like if I talk to myself out loud, there's no kind of like grounding ballast harness to it, but if it kind of like streamlines and focuses my thoughts, but because there's no one actually here, once you kind of get away from I'm just in the room talking to a camera, this would be weird if someone was watching me. Luckily they're not. But yeah, there's no kind of judgment, only my self-judgment. Anyway, yeah, so I think I just want to capture small moments that make me happy, and time capture it in the form of a video that I can back on and be like, oh, actually, amongst all your self-wallowing and rampant depression, there's always still moments in life that you can enjoy. Like this one. I also love holding this because I feel like I'm transported back to like 2008, being a careless little kid with my camcorder, like. And that is my favorite tree in the world. Oh, it feels cold and crisp and winter outside today. I'm reading this book at the moment. I found it just binged out to me on my uncle's bookshelf.
and I walked past that bookshelf so many times, but I'd never seen it, and I was kind of thinking it's funny how when you need something it's just so blindingly obviously there, and to never ignore those moments of brilliance. And I read it, well, I've still got a little bit left, but I read quite a lot of it just in a frenzy, and there was a lot of, I made a note on one of the chapters which sparked a whole idea for like writing a book, which I wanted to research, and it's mad because it just seemed like, yeah, in that moment it was very important that book stood out to me. I mean, it may have stood out to me before, but I wouldn't have had the kind of prior knowledge and started to find new things that inspired me to be able to have those thought kind of tangents. So yeah, I'm loving reading that. And my list that I wrote last night for today, which, okay, I've done that bit. I've done one of the many things. And I got this diary. Well, I literally feel like it's 2009. I'm like, hey, what's up, you guys? But that's the kind of like track my mood, and then get in line with the moon. And then I have this one here. I have so many things to track, but I just want to actually really make myself aware of what makes me feel good. So it's like I've got kind of this is like more of like a food and health journal and exercise, and then kind of how it then may be affecting my mood. And then I have this beautiful little thing, which that is just kind of like my day. Ooh, no, it's weird, it starts in August of last year, so I have to go like halfway through to get to the beginning of the year. But yeah, I've just kind of write, because I have a habit of just going on mad tangents with writing, but I've just been trying to keep it really simple. And just any, like maybe like a quote or a particular moment of joy, or just just kind of simplistic stuff, so I can keep in the habit of doing it as well. And then I have loads of notebooks where I will doodle, or I will let go of the unwieldy notions of self set by others. You are free to love yourself deeper and greater without fear. To not hurt other is to hurt the self. There you go, a little nugget of my brain. And then yeah, when I have like days of I feel inspired to write or do doodles, yeah, there's a lot of kind of writing. I've got quite a few of these guys.